Hello my gorgeous peopleini, these are your spirit guide messages and your guardian angel messages when it comes to the actual April 2022. So these spirit guide messages and your guardian angel messages are going to be, of course, for all 12 signs of zodiac. So if you just scroll at the bottom of the screen, you can get to your sign that way, or you can just simply find your sign within the actual description box, and then you can click on the actual time next to your sign and you can get to your sign that way as well. So now I'm going to start with my gorgeous Aries, my beautiful Aries. These are your very special messages that most certainly you should be aware of when it comes to the month of April 2022. So what you need to know, my gorgeous Aries, is just pretty much so do not be distracted, because there is something so important gonna be going on when it comes to you needing to notice, rather I should say it, and I should call it like a quite magical opportunity. But when you become aware of this magical opportunity, at the same time there are going to be so many distractions, and sometimes these distractions can kind of like really overshadow you, and this is something that you must not allow. So do not let distractions actually do not allow you to recognize and to realize and to become aware of a quite magical opportunity, an important opportunity. But you need to know, before we have a really significant opportunity when it comes to our lives, at the same time, there are also certain challenges that we sadly we have to face, because it's to do with our spiritual path, it's to do with our journey, and it's to do with our own karma. So this in itself is something you need to remember, my gorgeous Aries, when it comes to the actual month of April 2022. There are going to be lots of distractions, but you just need to understand to remain focused, stay on your path, and most certainly remain focused. And this is going to play an important, giant, huge role in you becoming aware of this magical opportunity. You have to trust yourself above absolutely anything else. And what you also need to remember is that you can make your imagination real. Just remember this, my gorgeous Aries, throughout the month of April, you can make your imagination real, okay? The next sign that I'm going to be having a special message for, it's going to be my gorgeous Taurus, my beautiful Taurinis. What you need to understand is, like, basically you can do absolutely anything. Just remember this when it comes to the month of April 2022. Please promise to me that you are going to remember this, my gorgeous Taurinis. You can do absolutely anything. This is the time for you to take charge of your life. What you need what you need in order to be successful, you can manifest just that, okay? You can manifest what you need to be a success. I need you to understand this, and I need you to remember this, because a lot is going to be going on, and it's going to also drain your energy a little bit. And once your energy is just drained a little bit, it affects your way of thinking, then that kind of steals the power a little bit away from you, and then things can become really difficult to weigh in through them on our own spiritual path. So what you need to remember, my gorgeous Taurinis, when you're wondering, when you're thinking, when you stumble upon a very important part of your life, that it is going to become almost immediately obvious, almost immediately evident that this is necessary for your own progress. So you need to remember is you can do anything. Take charge of your life, my gorgeous Taurinis. You can manifest what you need to be a success indeed. And what else you need to remember, step back from everything to gain perspective. Just remember this, when things become too much, step back from everything to actually gain perspective. The next sign that I'm going to be having a special message for, it's going to be my gorgeous Gemini, my gorgeous Gemini. What your message is going to be for the month of April is, you are going to have a very important information You're going to have a ridiculously important information, my gorgeous Gemini, and that information is going to help you, you know. But then again, it's going to be quite, there's kind of some kind of elements about that information that are going to be quite difficult to hear. But then at the same time, this information is really going to help you, because at the same time, it's going to require from you to speak the truth, and also on another hand, to speak the truth with a kindness. But then at the same time, you know, you need to also like pay attention to all sorts of details at the same time. What I want you to understand, my gorgeous Gemini, this is very, very important, because you are gonna get this information that you must remember that information that you're gonna get is gonna be much bigger and more important than anything else. But your challenge here is going to be here pretty much so with you kind of having elements of that information that it's going to be difficult to hear, but you need to know this, you need to be aware of this, you need to get to know this as much as you possibly can. You need to get to the bottom of something. This is very, very important indeed. And what you also need to remember, my gorgeous Gemini, growth always seems growth always means to actually leave something behind. Just remember this, that growth always means to leave something behind. Don't worry, this is going to be absolutely obvious to you by the end of April what I was talking about. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Cancer, my beautiful Cancerini. Now, you know, you are going to have such an important resolution of certain difficulties, and that in itself is going to lift so much of negativity, so much of the dark energy. It's going to lift so much off your shoulders. This is unbelievable. Important. This is brilliant, because at the end, at the same time, you know, it is going to mark the end of the actual very difficult stage that affected your life in so many different ways. That affected your life, it affected your progress, it affected your way of thinking. So of course that this is going to be big, because after that moment in time, you are going to have a really important opportunity, and you will be ready for that opportunity. You will know what am I talking about, because you have been prepared for that spiritually for a long time, let alone the last 36 months, what was going on in your life. But now you will be able to recognize this, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So pretty much so an important news and important information that you're going to have, my gorgeous Cancerini. It's all going to be about the resolution of difficulties, and this was just really weighing you down so much. So it's going to be important. And also what you need to remember, my gorgeous Cancerini, success lies ahead if you keep to the path. Just remember this, the success lies ahead if you keep to the path. You must remember this. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Leo. My gorgeous Leone, you know, it's just pretty much so and important for you to remember to review the past and the present, so you can plan something so significant when it comes to your future, because you're already in a midway. You're already on a very important and a very significant and very bright and a very powerful path. At around mid-April, this is the specific situation that I'm talking about, because you're going to stumble upon the situation, and this is going to confuse you a little bit, and it's going to slow you down. But the answer is always the same. Just trust yourself. Follow your intuition. Stay centered. Okay, stay focused, you know, review the past and the present, so you can plan something so important when it comes to your future. This is to do with a very significant step, but also understanding your life purpose. This is going to help you to so much to understand your life purpose even more, and then at the same time it's going to help you to release certain judgments, you know, of yourselves and others. What also you need to understand, my gorgeous Leones, is that now is a good time to do what you want to do. Just remember this, that now is a good time to do what you want to do, regardless what's going on, regardless what's happening, regardless at what stage at your life you are. Trust yourself. This is how you keep up with your own light. This is how you keep up with your own brightness. This is important. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Virgo. My beautiful Virgolini, you are going to have an absolutely mind-blowing news. When it comes to April, you're going to have a mind-blowing news. And that mind-blowing news is going to make you feel so good. It's going to make you feel delicious. It's going to make you feel excited. It's going to make you feel like you're doing something so big, so important, so significant. It's going to help you to come out of yourself so much. It's going to help you like to live your life again. It's going to help you to be excited again. Okay, it's going to help you to bring your energy to this very significant level of optimism that hasn't been around you in a while now. I'm not saying that you were sad and miserable, but you will know once you reach this moment in time what am I talking about. It's about rejuvenation. It's about your opening up yourself as well at the same time. So you, my gorgeous Virgolini, are going to have a wonderful, absolutely mind-blowing, huge and very powerful news. And that news that you are going to have, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's going to open up so much within you, let alone the actual doorway, let alone the actual portal, let alone the actual opportunity, which is going to most importantly going to connect you with a very, very smart choice that it's going to bring you rewards, rewards and a very important recognition. On one hand, this is going to mean to you so much, but on another hand, it's going to kind of really make you very powerful where you want to be powerful. You will be able to prove your point as well. You will be able to prove your point, a certain point that is quite important indeed. And what you also need to remember, my gorgeous Virgolini, you have earned every single one of your successes. You have earned every single one of your successes indeed. This is what I need you to remember. And the more you think about it, the more determined you're going to be, and you're going to become when you're facing the certain situation that makes you feel like, oh God, that drain your energy a little bit, and then it affects your way of thinking. Just remember this, my gorgeous Virgolini, please. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Libra. My beautiful Libra, you're also going to have a really important news. There is a very important news that you're going to have, and this in itself, it's absolutely brilliant because it is just going to really it's going to make you feel very excited, but then at the same time, it's to do with the certain announcements that are going to be around that news that are going to be just as important that you're going to become aware of. So it's to do with a certain news, certain information that's going to make you feel so good because you've been waiting for this for a long time, my gorgeous Libra, indeed. But then again, that news is going to unfold into the actual the situation when you're going to become aware of the certain announcements that you're going to need to make. Go for it, because this is to do with your progress. This is to do with the next step. This is to do with your future, and this is to do with you also making a really important decision here. What you need to remember, my gorgeous Libra, that also a little message here to try to reconnect with people in your life. It's very important in April to try to reconnect with people in your life, people who you cherish. This is very important because every single person whom you feel a very strong emotional connection with is just going to leave a very kind of a significant imprint, when it comes to your spirituality, which means that on another hand, you're going to find out a specific, very kind of interesting things through people who are meant to be in your life. So this is why it's important to reconnect. And then what you also need to remember, that there are going to be some challenges ahead, but you are going to absolutely face every single one of them. Just remember this. With the challenges, when you come across certain challenges, throughout April, just like kind of change your mind about them. Just see them as like, yeah, baby, I'm just going to go for it, instead of, oh no. Because then when you say, oh no, you're just like kind of like a slow yourself down, and it's got like a kind of negative impact and negative energy around you, which is what you don't want. So just remember, there may be some challenges ahead, and there are going to be, but then at the same time you will be able to face them. Just go for it, my gorgeous Libra. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Scorpio, my beautiful Scorpioni. This is for the actual April 2022. What you're going to have to understand that this month you are going to kind of like come across the certain opposing goals that are going to arise from different opinions. So you're going to come across the opposing goals that are going to arise from different opinions, but then again you're going to feel at odds with yourself or others. So this is pretty much so this is actually a really good sign. So when that happens, you just need to follow your own essence. Every single time that happens in April, you need to follow your own essence, you need to follow your own uniqueness, you need to follow exactly that what makes you different. You need to follow exactly that what makes you more unique. You need to follow exactly that makes you that absolute essence that makes you kind of so different to the people that you're gonna come across. So you're gonna become aware of your own weirdness, but then when you become aware of your own weirdness, my gorgeous Scorpioni, this is gonna be on a whole different level. This is going to be on a whole new level, because at that moment in time, just beforehand, you're gonna learn something very specific. And what you're going to learn is that something that you have been kind of doing in your past, you just did exactly right, and that in itself is going to be highlighted when it comes to your mind, and this is what you're going to be reminded at this moment in time. So you will become aware of your own progress that happened not that long ago, when maybe you were trying to decide something, you were doing something, and then just someone said, maybe someone who's very close to you could have said oh my god, what is he doing, what is she doing, or he's crazy, she's crazy. But then again, you're going to have a very strong news, information, realization, situation when you will know that you did exactly the right thing. So this is why you have to give a credit to yourself. It's important to be yourself. So take this as a blessing. Take this as a God's gift. Take this as a blessing, my gorgeous Scorpioni, because this is where your power is. So just remember that you are going to come across the opposing goals that are going to arise from different opinions, and then you're going to feel at odds with yourself and others. But this is going to be absolutely brilliant, because it's going to really also show you the exact aspect of your life that you want to avoid. And the more you avoid that aspect of your life and people who don't make any sense, the better it's actually going to be. Well, you need to remember, my gorgeous Scorpioni, that there is also going to be a very strange and very unusual message that you are going to get. And the very strange and very unusual message that you're also about to receive is just going to it's going to happen in a kind of the most unusual and the most bizarre of the ways, because it's going to come from someone really weird and unusual. But that in itself is going to be absolutely everything, because it's going to give you the chance to step back from everything to kind of gain a different perspective, which is going to be important in that moment in time. What else you need to remember, my gorgeous Scorpioni, to focus on your goals to bring you great success, which means that the power of manifestation is going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be a big mama as well. The actual power of manifestation is going to be huge. Do not waste this energy of April for anything else. Don't bring yourself down, and don't kind of, oh God, don't go into too long a hermit mode type of thing. Just focus on things that make you feel excited when it comes to the certain goals, and you will see where this is going to take you. The more you do this, the more powerful you're going to become. The more powerful you become, the closer you are to your dream. The closer you are to your dream, the more irresistible it becomes for you to kind of really just throw yourself on that journey. So this is going to be very, very important month when it comes to your manifestation. Use it wisely, okay? The next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Sagittarius, my beautiful Sagittarini. What you have to remember is to have patience and don't worry. Okay, this is an absolutely important time to rest and plan your next steps at the same time. On another hand, you are going to become aware of very, very soon, my gorgeous Sagittarini, in which part of your life do you need to invest. And when you find out in which part in your life you need to invest in, it's going to surprise you. And I'm saying it's going to surprise you because it's going to require a little bit of adjustment, because you will consider that certain priorities changed. And once you become aware of which priorities changed, this is when things are going to become really interesting for you indeed. Please, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you must understand this, and you must remember to have patience and don't worry, which means that you are about to come across the situation that is going to make you feel really deep, and it's also kind of going to be a wrong situation. A wrong situation, because it's all about a bit of a testing, it's all about a bit of a challenge that you will be going through. It's to do with where you are at right now, your own path. What are you working on? What are you trying to achieve? You're about to stumble upon a really interesting situation when you're going to think, oh, you know what, I had absolutely enough, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. No, baby, no. Stay focused, stay grounded, because things are about to change. But before things change, then we're always faced with an important challenge that only we can respond to. You know, with our spirit, with our soul, with our subconscious mind, you know, with us opening up ourselves, you know. So have patience and don't worry. On another hand, my gorgeous Sagittarini, what you also need to remember, answering the call to action is going to create new opportunities. Remember this. Okay, very important. Answering the call to action is going to create new opportunities. You have to understand this, you have to remember this, and you will know exactly why am I saying it. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous Capricornius. My gorgeous Capricorn, oh my lord, you know, there is a very big, huge, massive, big mama, enormous challenge that you are about to have. Capricornius, I'm going to repeat this again. There is a huge, massive, giant, enormous challenge that you are about to have. Well, you need to remember at the same time that this challenge you are going to be so successful about, and also that challenge is going to resolve in you finding out one of the most passionate parts of your life, which are going to be like really, which you're going to be facing out of it. Okay, so it's to do with one of the most passionate part of your lives that are going to become absolutely evident, that you are about to manifest, that are about to happen. Okay, it's going to happen in the form of the actual new portal literally opening for you right after this moment in time. So there is a very big challenge that you are going to have, and that challenge that you are going to have, it's to do with things that you love, with things that you are like kind of working on, with things that you're passionate about anyway, with things that you like really love, you love expressing yourself. But at the same time, you know, it's going to, what you must remember, that that challenge you're going to do really well, because it's going to show you the most passionate path that you've ever felt. Okay, that you ever become aware of when it comes to yourself. It's things that you're doing, what you're already doing, but you're going to be able to feel this like so magnified, like, oh my god, on like such a magnified scale, on such a large scale. It's going to hit you like there is no tomorrow, and it's at the same time going to remind you, like, just to stay true to yourself. Do not kind of give your power away, please. Okay, it's very important indeed. So it's all about you becoming aware of that big, huge, massive challenge, but at the same time also it's going to require immediate action. It's going to require immediate action. So this is like when you come across that challenge, you will know what this is. But then at the same, because it's to do with you kind of facing this, needing to face this before you go on the next stage. You know, natural. It's to do with the natural progress in life. But at the same time, for some reason, you're going to be kind of keep on putting kind of certain things behind. I'm going to do this later. I'm going to do this later. No, baby, no. You just do things now. You do anything that you can do throughout April, do it now, so you can't kind of get it wrong. Don't leave things like behind. Don't leave things for later on, especially those things that you should be doing, those things that you should be focusing on. Okay, it's very important to understand that this needs to be done immediately. And also, what I need you to remember, my gorgeous Capricorn, is that your clear communication is going to express what's the best for all. Just remember this, that your clear communication is going to express what is the best for all. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Aquamarinis. Okay, this is very important, my gorgeous Aquarius. So this is for April 2022. It's the message from your spirit guides, and it's the message from your guardian angels. Things are really beautifully about to start unfolding for you, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, my gorgeous Aquarius. You have indeed been through so much, through a lot, but now, as of this moment in time, and it actually already started to kind of change nicely and slowly in March. So now in April, this is when you're really gonna start feeling it. You know, this is the time when you're gonna start feeling yourself, but at the same time, it's just basically you are gonna come across a very interesting situation this month, my gorgeous Aquamarinis. And the situation that you're gonna come across is just gonna be connected to you. Basically, you're gonna need to make a certain choice. Okay, and the choice that you're gonna need to make, it must come from you. It must not come from anyone else, but most importantly, it needs to come from your heart. My gorgeous Aquamarinis, let me tell you this. You're about to make a really important choice. I'm talking about April 2022. You are about to make a really important choice. And this choice needs to be made from your heart. Okay, this is very important indeed, because the type of choice that I'm talking about is the one choice that happens like, oh my God, once in like every 100 years, you know, once in a lifetime. It's a really important choice here. And this is why it's even more important for this like response to come directly through your soul, directly through your spirit. Sometimes in this life, you just need to learn basically, you know, which things to share with other people and which things we keep to ourselves. That way we protect our energy, we protect our power, we protect our vibration, but we also give the maximum impact when it comes to our spiritual journey. In fact, what I think that you should be doing, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, throughout the actual month of April, try to just like basically any single choice that you come across, any single decision that you need to make, it must 100%, 100 million % come from your heart. And this is how you're going to protect yourself, and this is how you're going to protect your energy. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're making decisions normally and choices like, you know, it doesn't come from your heart, blah, blah, blah. You will know what I mean, but because when you're facing this, this is going to feel big. This is going to feel huge. This is going to feel enormous in itself. So you will already know that you are facing an absolutely giant, enormous, and very important part of your life right now. So you will pretty much so know what you need to do. You will know what this situation is. But most importantly, the choice that you need to make needs to come from the heart. On another hand, what you also need to remember that there is going to be a really very wonderful news and information that you're also going to have. Very wonderful news when it comes to your own success through someone who is really going to surprise you, the way they're going to come out and the way they're going to praise you. And this is going to mean to you so much, because at the same time, at that moment in time, you're going to learn something so specific about a certain person. Mask is going to fall, but this mask is not going to be a horrible person behind it. It's going to be someone really wonderful, really beautiful, really gorgeous all this time behind, but it's just that it's to do with the person who has got problems and difficulties expressing themselves. And at that moment in time, there is a very interesting lesson that you are going to learn. Very important indeed. And also, what else you need to remember, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, when it comes to April, keep your eye on your goals and enjoy every single moment. Keep your eyes on your goals and enjoy every single moment, because the more you keep your eyes on your goals, the more you focus on your present moment, the more you focus on your future throughout the months of April, the more opportunities you are going to have, the more powerful your life is going to be, because the energy is changing throughout the months of April. So we are changing. So we just go with this absolutely wonderful vibration, and then we just get so much more out of it than we normally would. The The next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious Pisces, my beautiful Piscelinis. What you need to remember when it comes to April 2022, you know, there is a certain you're going to feel very indecisive. You're going to feel very indecisive indeed. And that indecisiveness that you're going to feel is just going to be holding you down, holding you back so much. And this is going to create a really big moment in itself, because, you know, that in itself is going to require from you also to make the choice, you know, and the choice that you need to make, you must think about yourself. You need to think about yourself first. You need to put yourself as number one. If you don't take care of yourself, then there is no point. So you need to put yourself as number one. My gorgeous Piscelinis, I'm going to repeat this again. You are about to face a certain indecisive moment. It's to do with an indecisive moment. It's indecisive moment which is going to hold you back. It's going to hold you back. And that indecisive moment, the answer to that indecisiveness, when you find yourself being so indecisive, you know, that indecisive moment, the answer to that is to actually make the choice that's the best for you, rather than trying to please others. Please try to remember this. This is a very significant stage in your life for you to understand this, but also take into an action when you need it. So when you find yourself being indecisive, and it's not going to be that long, my gorgeous Piscelinis, you're going to understand that that indecisiveness is big, because it's also holding you down. Okay, from your own progress, is holding you back. So that in itself is going to result in you making the choice that's the best for you, rather than trying to please others. In fact, you must remember this throughout the actual month of April, okay? Because if you don't do it like this, if you don't respond to this in this particular way, you're just going to like carry on feeling trapped, you know, between the intellectual and the emotional and the spiritual. You know, it's like a confusion of energy that is going to rise up if you don't get this right. So I don't want to sound like if you don't get this right. So basically what you need to do throughout the month of April, every single time when you're about indecisive about something, 1,000,000%, you first of all, you need to put yourself first. And that way you're gonna really kind of remove yourself from this situation. So indecisive, when you find yourself in being indecisive, really indecisive, then you will know that this is also holding you back. You need to make the choice that's the best for you. And also, on another hand, what you need to remember, my gorgeous Piscean, is do not let your emotions to get in the way. Do not let your emotions to get in the way. It's very, very important indeed. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.